Here.
We're live, bro.
Are we live yet?
Yeah, we're live,
We're
bro.
live yet,
We're
Jody?
live. Live.
All right. Well, Jody, we can't reach each other, so give me the air pound.
Right on, bro.
Right?
How you doing today, man?
Good. Hello, everybody, and how are you? Welcome to the wet floor. So we have a really special guest tonight, and I want to just introduce everybody. We got Jody, Uncle Joe's Fish Shed, and we have Bill from Aqualust, and Anthony, our friend, who is the fish breeder of these 5 gold
dust earth eaters.
Gold dust earth eaters. Yeah, I get jammed up there. And also called Alto Sinu was the
Chief Vegas species Alto Sinu.
So really beautiful fish. You know, as we talked about before, fish isn't my thing. I'm all plants. These two guys are all fish. So I'm going to really get a crash course education today. It's this really cool sand sifting fish. So we're also going to give away a group of 5 of these that he bred, and he's also got some Montezuma Swordtails that he decided he wants to do giveaway too. I actually own some of these. I've gotten from you. They're absolutely beautiful, really nice fish. Really been enjoying them a lot. So yeah. So
they're
really,
nice fish,
at
Anthony.
this point is make sure you just comment, like and subscribe. It really helps us. And at the same time, if you have some questions, we're going to field some stuff at the end. We're going to let them build up. We'll sort them out. Basically, let's just jump right into it. So, Anthony, tell us, like, how long have you been breeding fish?
Oh, I've been breeding fish for about 30 years. I wouldn't say that I was breeding them entirely on those 30 years. I was like any aquarist. Over time, my goals have changed. My species have traveled different continents that I've looked for. But I would say the last 5 to 6 years, I've been really concerned with breeding fish that are really hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
Breeding fish, I think, are underrepresented in the hobby, and focusing upon bringing those fish to a wider variety of aquarists, especially aquarists that really can't afford the fish, at least initially. So to that end, I started on stuff like the ornate microctenopoma from the Congo, and I focused on Crobia for a long time, and I went about acquiring them and then breeding them and distributing them out. And then once I mastered it, I kind of move on.
Yeah.
Once I've brought the price to a point where I think pretty much anybody can afford it.
Yeah. Those are absolutely beautiful fish, Anthony. We did a video on those. Me and Bill did a while ago. That's really super cool. We have the fish available on our website too. We made a tank for your pair when you were so kind as to give it to us.
I want to pause you 1 second because I see Richard's comment, and he's got big echo, right? So, Richard, help me out right here. Tell me if you still hear an echo and on whose mic, because we were dealing with this in the fish shed the other day, because it is kind of a hard space, but it's kind of jammed in here, and we did get it sorted out. I want to say,
anyone else got an echo?
Jody, just knock down your volume to 4.
That's the set button, right?
So if anybody's got anything about the audio, please just...
It was on 4.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, let us know if we have a bad echo going on or anything like that, so we can kind of straighten that out. We want to make it, good for you guys too. So
yeah, sorry about that.
All right, so I'm sorry to hit the brakes on everybody there. Let's jump back into where it is.
What I was saying there though is as some of you guys may know, Anthony was I should say Dan at Dan's Fish was lucky enough to be able to get a bunch of Anthony's Crobia and have them available to the public. It's really cool what you do with these fish, Anthony. Take these hard, rare, expensive fish and get them done. And I appreciate the opportunity to be able to have your fish here too. It's really super cool. The Alto Sinu are nice fish. I absolutely love them.
Part of that, Jody, is that when I started when I was 16, many, many decades ago. And honestly, I used to be able to go into a fish store and buy anything with a $10 allowance.
It's so nice.
And I'm really heartbroken that when I go into fish stores now, there's hardly anything I can buy with that $10 allowance. And I think I feel a personal responsibility as someone who has the ability to breed some of these things and the experience to breed some of these things, to knock down that price so that it's not such a barrier for entry for young people. I really feel passionate that those of us that have that ability need to be doing that at all costs.
I mean, I think that you brought it up in the Crobia video that we did, that the Crobia you bred, and how, you know, like you want to have the young people to able to afford to enter the hobby. I mean, it's the biggest thing, and especially when you're entering a hobby like this, it can be crazy expensive, and if you decide it to be, so you know, or it can be really budget friendly if you decide it to be, but don't be forced into the like, I can't have anything nice with the fish that I want. You know?
Yeah.
I didn't get to read that one.
You know, oh my gosh, I
What
just am not. Space Coast Aquarium Society, thank you for joining us. You guys, I hope everyone in here and everyone who watches this video, please find your local fish club. You'll hear me talk about this all the time. You guys, I was listening to what Anthony just said there about being able to go into the pet store with the $10 bill, and I have 25 Alto Sino here at the house right now that I was just getting ready to throw up on the website. You guys, if you're watching this video, and you get on it fast, Alto Sino for $10 a piece.
Wow,
I can do that.
Yeah,
we can move these Alto Sino out.
Did we do?
Can I hope I can get some more.
And that's a great deal because honestly, they're going to. I have a batch that are going to Dan's, and they're going to be going for substantially more than that.
Did we ever get a chance to set up fish cam? Did we do fish cam?
Maybe
we will later. When
we will after a while. Yeah,
so, we'll show you the fish that we're giving away. We'll show you the Montezumas and the Alto Sino. So we got a bunch of things going on. But I had a question more for Anthony. It's like, so why the gold dust earth eater? Are they like you're saying rare or hard to find or expensive? Like what was the reason for focusing on this fish?
Yeah, that's a great question. So luckily through our fish club, we got the opportunity to trade with a fish club from Chicago.
Yes.
And I had never heard of the gold dust earth eater prior to that, and I never saw it.
Wow.
So I decided that one was one I was going to focus on almost immediately. Also, Geophagus has a really good reputation for being some very mild-mannered citizens. And so when I looked at the established literature on it and I saw what they become, I thought there's no reason why we shouldn't have this all over Florida, especially South Florida here. So I took it upon myself to outbid people on F. Massey that day. And I decided that they were going to be made much more common down here in South Florida.
Yeah.
So
our very first video. Well, actually, we did release 3 at once, and we did the breeder, the fish tank video. But one of the very first ones is doing box pops.
Yeah.
This is why we promote people, because like that opportunity probably never would have came about unless because we have some really good members in our club that ties back there. So it got facilitated, but we really want to keep promoting this idea and make this much more of a common occurrence.
These fish are from that swamp.
Yeah, we were from that swamp. And there were some beautiful, and that was a cichlid association. So they had a lot of specialty. So even if it's just a specialty, you know, you line up your members. And so we send fish, Jody sent fish, you send fish, right?
Yep.
And then they send fish, and then it goes into your club's auction. So your club it's like a donation to your club from another club. So we support each other, and it really did us a huge solid. I hope they like the fish. We sent them just as much.
Yeah,
you know? And,
we got good
but
fish
ultimately,
here.
It was that's a great story how we ended up with that, because now you'll be able to really once again spread this out across the country, making it more out there, making it more available. You know, I think that me and Jody were talking just recently, like the hobby's always looking for the next blue German ram.
Yeah,
you know, it was just hot.
Absolutely.
It was all of a sudden the price was here, it was unattainable. Now they're obtainable by people. I want that fish. They're beautiful, and you can't. Let me rephrase that. Somebody said, "I want that fish. They're beautiful." Not me, because he'll show up with a bag of fish at my house.
We got a few people in here right now. It seems all here.
Yeah,
hey, CR Fish, Richard Reynolds in the chat. Hello, guys. Space Coast, we saw them for sure. Hi, guys. Stacy Perez, Holly Gibbs, thank you. Yeah, I put the wrong one up and said, "Hey, freak." She put up the don't forget the thumbs up.
Don't forget
Ryan Bushnell and Jonathan Oh, I can't even get that one out. But Jonathan's in the house too. Hey, you guys, if you look in the back, PP Face and Big Paku are doing that dance that you hear us talk about where they push each other around. Not to sidetrack you from the good video, but it is kind of neat.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I keep pointing up there. Just
oh, do you?
Paku's coming in for like shots, you know.
You guys, hi everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. I just wanted to make sure to say hi.
So, what do you, for you, what would be your biggest lesson learned in breeding fish?
Oh boy, that's I
mean,
can't really.
Is there a basic,
I have to be honest with you. There are instructions that you receive in all of them. If I was going to be talking to a beginning person who wants to learn how to breed fish,
myself.
I would start with African cichlids, because African cichlids taught me a lot about what to look for things like such as mouth brooding.
Okay.
One of the really interesting things about this species is that they're mouth brooders, and I didn't know that going in. I didn't see anything on that as far as the literature was concerned when I was reading up on them. And the fact that I had training in the Malawi cichlids alerted me to looking for the throat bulge, which was my first clue that these were actually mouth brooding cichlids. And you begin to recognize behaviors such as dances that these fish do. A lot of the Geophagus alto courtship behavior looks a lot like the courtship behavior of the Malawi cichlids. So that is one of the things that I noticed about them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting. I mean, I've bred a lot of guppies.
Some great guppies.
I've got some first place guppies.
They're
award-winning guppies.
Awesome.
You know, but I mean, ultimately, for me, it's like I'm almost intimidated, like, you know, and people say it to me about the plants, like, oh yeah, no, I bought a $50 plant. I was saying to somebody the other day, oh yeah, no, I just bought like $45 in moss.
Right.
Like, I got a problem.
But you do. I keep looking over that with you guys. If you guys are paying attention, these guys are sitting kitty corner.
So
we are all here, but we just
this is the shed. I mean, it's full of fish tanks. So
guys, you know what? We should probably we have some trivia questions tonight too, because people seem to like the fish trivia. You guys want to maybe talk about some breeding?
Well, we got a question here. How about highlight Stacy Perez here? Do you do anything to trigger the geos breeding? I had a batch of, I can't even read that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Stacy, I'm going to tell you right now, I've never bred Geophagus altifrons, but in general, just generally speaking, if you're really serious about breeding them, you need to condition them first. Condition them with high quality foods. I would start with something such as frozen brine shrimp. If you can get good quality blackworms, and I need to emphasize it needs to be good quality blackworms, not things riddled with leeches and potential pathogens. Blackworms can be a really good source of fat and protein which females need to make the eggs. For the females, it's an enormous investment in breeding, and that's really what you're aiming for in the conditioning. And then lastly, with a lot of the Geophagus, you definitely need to raise the temperatures. So for instance, we had a downturn in temperature here in South Florida. That downturn in temperature just ended breeding for all of the cichlids. Up until that point, I had 3 different fish that were showing active breeding dresses. But when it turned temperatures and so radically, that ended almost immediately.
Yeah, that pressure drops.
Temperature is definitely playing a role in this as well.
How are you regulating the temperature in your breeding room?
Yeah, for me, I regulate it by using a space heater and by using internal house temperature, heating the room,
not heating the tank.
Yeah, you know, I don't know about you, but I am afraid of using those heaters because I've seen too many of them go bad and either ignore your settings or even worse, somehow crack, let water in, and then electrify tanks.
And then the fish are dead.
But Jody, if you bought that Eheim canister filter, it would text you.
It will tell you. The thing is absolutely crazy. One of you guys need to go out and get the Eheim and tell us about it. Otherwise, we're gonna.
I really think this year, 2026 Aqualus goals, I'm going to do high-tech freshwater tank, something like that. Like try out something just like Just tell me to do it. I need an excuse to spend the money.
Just do it, man. You know what? If you do that, I know where you can get the fish.
Yeah.
I'll make sure the fish come over.
Yeah, but I totally agree. I mean, like a great example is like I have 5 tanks. It's not that many, right? But you're like, oh, let me put a heater in it. Oh, let me put an ink bird on it for 5 tanks. That's a sizable investment.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and you know what? We're down in way South Florida, right? And we have electric heat. So it's a heat pump it's the electric heater in your AC system, right? And I just got my electric bill, which was $50 more than last month. And the electric here is pretty cheap, but in the scheme of things, like, you know what? That was my choice to heat the house. And I hate the cold, so I moved here. So it's like, yeah, I want to be comfortable too. So my temperature of the house is a little below a tank set. I'm like 74 in the house, right? Mm-hmm. But I run heaters, but I'm scared. I'm living this scared life. And as much as I want to cut them off, I know some of my fish, like my betta, needs heat. You know, so
one good thing about also large volumes of water, and Stacy, this is something I also want to mention with you. I wouldn't attempt to breed a Geophagus in anything lower than a 75. And if you have a really large volume of water like that, your temperatures there are relatively stable. It takes a lot to move the temperature of a 75 in a radical direction. It really does.
Oh, yeah.
So with the larger volumes of water, you have that stability too that could also be very beneficial in breeding fish.
Yeah, so I have a lot of 10s in here. And so that was critical. Like you came in here earlier and, it is what it is. Anthony pointed out in my CPD tanks that I have some sick fish. And these drastic drop. We were talking about that. And the big tanks, they're all fine.
And and those tanks are near the door, so they're going to be affected by the temperature if you're going in and out, working in the shed. So you're going to have that. But that's all really good point. It's just having it output temperature, and we have friends that were trapped in this snow issues that they had in the middle of America, and people contact lost fish. And I feel really bad because there's nothing you can do. They were wrapping the tank with towels and putting heat packs on the glass. And the bigger the tank, the better off you are. Yeah. I just did a Mexicali interview, right, for Oculus, and we were talking about the small tank. Jody's feeling is that you should have 20 gallons. You should be a starter tank. The 10-gallon. I fell into the 10-gallon trap. One, you want a bigger tank immediately. Second is it's so easy to move 10 gallons worth of water, right? Corey McElroy said this once. He goes, if you don't think 5 gallons is a lot of water, fill up a bucket and throw it on the floor, and then tell me it's not a lot of water. So yeah, so 10 gallons is a little bit of water, but at the same time, it's easier to swing crowns, especially a beginner that really doesn't know. You can get really taken off guard by swinging nitrates or ammonia, because it's easy to affect that. Where you have a much bigger tank, you're going to be able to ignore it, and the changes happen much slower.
Talking about tanks, guys, let's talk about back to these fish here. Tank requirements. How big a fish?
Let him add one.
So, in my opinion, my most valuable tank space right now, believe it or not, is actually a 10-gallon, because that's where I do all my quarantine. This is where I do all of my initial baby fish grow out, because I want lower volumes of water so that the baby fish aren't running all over the place looking for food. And it allows me to concentrate the food, especially live food, in a ways that there's ample opportunities there. So I will tell you that my 10-gallon space is by far one of my most valuable spaces, and it's rare that one 10-gallon is even open at this point. I'm struggling mightily to figure out where I can add another 10 gallons.
How many 10s do you have? 4. And what are your other tanks?
There's 75s, 60s, 40s, 30s, and 38s.
All breeders stuff.
Big tanks. What kind of big tanks?
Just because that was my first fish tank. So I don't want to get rid of it.
Why would you get rid of it?
Because that's the first fish tank I ever bought as a 16-year-old.
Yeah, that's pretty fun that you still have that.
It's got sentimental value. So
what kind of tank is it?
I'm sorry?
What kind of tank is it?
A 30-gallon long.
What kind? What brand?
I don't remember.
You know,
Yeah,
glass.
It's old, it's
I don't
awkward.
remember. Yeah.
That's what, that's
Well,
I
what
don't
don't ask him
remember
how old
anymore.
it is.
right.
So
Right.
we were
No,
going to say
don't.
back to the fish, where you were
Back
jumping
to
in.
the fish. So we're talking like that's some of the. Tell us about the fish. Where are they from? Tank requirements, things like that. Like,
Sure.
tell
So
us about their habitat, like just the rigmarole and all that. You know.
yeah, great. So the tank requirements, I wouldn't use anything lower than a 75 on them as a permanent housing, because you're talking about fish where the males can get 7 to 8 inches.
And how many would you put in that?
I'm going to have to tell you that that's going to vary. And here's why. There's a lot of difference in temperament in this species. I had one male that was completely gentle, was very tolerant of all the other males in the tank, and did not beat up on females. And then I had another one that was an absolute hellion. You really were wondering if they came from the same species, because it was that wide
Wow.
difference.
Wow.
The females get about 4 to 6 inches. None seem to be aggressive to other fish. So I kept them with Coreodoris and Rummy-nosed tetras. None of them are aggressive to those fish, but I would not put anything smaller than a rummy-nose in with those
Yeah, something
fish.
that would fit.
That I think would be too tempting for some of them.
I have them housed here with angelfish, and they get along great.
Yep.
They are so peaceful. I absolutely love them. I'm changing the big tank behind that big pacu and stuff, and big pacu can't stand there, nor can the turtle much longer. And that's what I'm moving into there. Some gold dust and some other South Americans. So
Nice.
Now the Rio Coca, where they come from, is a slightly basic pH. So you're looking at something around 7.2 to 7.4, which is pretty on par with where I am in South Florida. So we got really lucky in that respect there.
Yeah.
We didn't have a whole lot to do with changing temperature requirements.
Mm-hmm.
But
you said the warmer, like this over breeding, what kind of temperatures are you looking for?
So my internal fish room is about 78 degrees. That's where I like to keep it at. I like to keep mine a little bit warmer than I think most people do.
And then the tank, you're saying maybe a degree or two over that, because you have a light, you have a pump running.
Yes.
So you may have 1 or 2 degrees over your.
Absolutely. That is 100%.
So it gets to 78,
possible.
80. And it's very, if you measure this way, you measure that way. I have this tool. And unfortunately, in the hobby, the degree of accuracy, unless you go out and buy a chef's pen or something, where you spend a lot of money on it. I use a Snap-on Mechanics. So I have stuff, the infrared gun, and Jody made a really good point. It's only going to hit the surface. It's not actually going to hit the water column. So you're going to get something in the water or the surface of the water. Because we were doing a test for the Heiger heater on his outdoor tank, and what I'm seeing is the surface temperature versus him putting a probe. And I'm like, well, we're seeing 2 degrees difference, but ultimately, you got that buffer. So you're about the warm 78 to 80.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect.
What does Alto Sinu mean?
That's a really good question, and I went looking for that too, because I didn't know exactly what that meant either, and I got different answers from it. So I'm really going to plead here that I don't know the answer. I got answers such as there was a river called the Sinu River, and that it means from Sinu. But they're not really from the Rio Sinu. They're from the Rio Coca. So I don't really know what to say on that one. So I will have to say that I didn't name them.
Well,
I would like to know the answer to that myself.
I've read too much about them recently, because my computer tells me that they're from Geophagus. They're from Geophagus.
Well, that's the genus. I will confirm that part.
So yeah, I guess that is true.
I wanted to do 2 things real quick, Jody, that you could help me with.
Yeah.
I'm going to close those blinds because the reflection is
right
killing
on.
me.
So
and I want you to shut the TV off if you can. But keep going.
So while we're doing that, I can also tell you
Bill.
something that's really amazing about these fish.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a really interesting natural behavior where with their mouth, the male will make this O shape in their mouth, and then they will shake back and forth. And they do this O-shaped dance with other males, and that's how they determine whether or not they are the dominant male or not. And that's how they also impress the ladies. The ladies will gather and look at the males doing this shaking all around them, and it's just really neat to look at.
Right up there.
It's one of the instinctual behaviors that I would love to know why that came about, because the males will fight like cats and dogs, but they'll do dance-offs as well, which makes it really interesting to see. Very comical too.
So when you say they do like a shake, is it a whole like explosion event? And
No. It's they shake back and forth, really vibrate, but it's with that.
Plants don't do that.
Right? It's
Yeah.
really
Yeah, plants don't do that.
something else. You see that,
It's cool.
you go, wow, that's really unique. I've never seen a fish do something like that. And
Right on.
yeah, they do it quite a bit, especially when they're growing up and determining who's whom. So that's something else that's really neat.
Right on. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, they go.
Well, so you think that there's a like diet you went over? Like, are you keeping your own live food colonies?
Yeah,
stuff like that?
I have 3 main colonies of food, because what you're going to find if you're really serious into breeding is that not all of the fish babies are the same size. And so for the vast majority of them, baby brine bill is what you want.
The gold. I've heard you say before, the gold standard.
Yeah, that's the gold standard as far as I'm concerned. But then you have things like vinegar eels, which are very necessary for a lot of your rainbow fish. Like, for instance, your celeb rainbow fish is one of them that it was born too small to take the brine shrimp in very easily.
Wow.
And so I have another one right now called Laticara dorsigera, which is incredibly rare. It's called the red-breasted acard. It's a nano acard. It's like maybe 2 inches. But the babies are so small, I've had to culture Paramecium aurelia. And it's been a long time. I've lost a lot of batches because culturing these things are a substantial learning curve. So even with all the guides on YouTube, it has been a substantial learning curve, learning to get all of these small live foods up off the ground in sufficient quantity to feed
old babies.
So yeah, luckily, knock on wood, we finally have enough to start.
Who are you feeding the Alto fry? No, they're
those were baby brine shrimp, because the Alto fry are born fairly big.
Yeah, they seem like very, they seem really ready to rock and ready to.
They are.
How long do you have them on baby brine for?
As long as mom will allow. One thing I will tell you about this, and one of the things that I didn't know about this fish that keeping them taught me, was that mom is fiercely protective. And so the very first couple of batches, I didn't really recognize that there was a mouth brooder because I wasn't looking for it. I was looking for eggs laid on a surface. And what I found out was that these mothers, they breed and they try to leave. And if they can't get away, they won't release their fry. And so what I found was after 4 to 5 days, you had to remove them from the tank that they were in, and you had to place them in a tank.
Oh, otherwise you keep holding.
And that was the only reason why, or the only way that she would feel secure enough to release the babies. And then, of course, it's just like Malawi cichlid mothers in releasing babies. They have a signal that they call to them, and the babies will all come back and jump into the mouths to be carried away.
That's so cool when they actually do that.
Or the slightest threat that the mother perceives. So these fish are really, really cool. They have some really interesting instinctual behaviors that I really haven't seen in anything other than Malawi cichlids.
That's pretty cool.
Is that signal like a vibration? Or
I'm guessing it's actually a sound that they're making. A lot of fish make sounds that are very subtle. Unless you have underwater mics, you're not really going to hear it. But what I noticed is once she gives the signal, they're all in. They know what that means.
Yeah.
It means get back to mom fast. So.
Yeah.
Right on. That's really cool. Fish are so awesome to watch. Different how fish parent, and some of the cichlids do an amazing job. Is where other ones just seem to want to eat their babies.
How old are the fish when you can sex them?
Believe it or not, the males start relatively early. Like I said, you're going to see before they develop their breeding dress, they're going to start making that O shape with their mouth. And they're going to start the dances.
Okay.
And that was the first sign that you had males. The second sign that you have males is that they develop a hump. So they develop a nuchal hump right there. And it's a thick layer of scale coloring that you see at first. But that hump becomes more and more pronounced as they get older and older and older.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first signs that you see. The second signs is they get their breeding dress colors, which for the males are gorgeous. They're second to none. They really are.
They do. Yeah, they do. You guys, this brings us to a point. We've talked about a few things. At some point later, we're going to do a couple giveaways. We're going to play a little bit of trivia here.
Okay.
See if people have been paying attention.
Okay.
We do have a couple things that we can ask because I know people do seem to like the trivia. I just need to figure out how to do it again like usual.
Yep.
So Anthony had made a good list up for me. I, again, dumped everything. Anybody who knows how to use this, drop in the comments, let me know. How do you save the photos and stuff in here, you guys? We've been kind of neglecting the chat a little bit too. I saw a few other people in here and say hi. Jonathan, well, I did say hi to Jonathan already. Dee Dee came in. Hello, Dee Dee's Fish Den, Southwest Florida Aquatics. What's up, Richard Reynolds? We saw you. I saw LRB stop in, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, LRB. It was great having you here. Thank you. I'm glad that you like the fish room. It means a lot when people like it, and especially if they're willing to say something. I appreciate it a lot, so much. You guys, we do have a couple little trivia questions here that we should have covered some of them already. We'll see how much I was paying attention if we did. The first one, the Alto Sinu is a tributary of what river? I think we went over that. I know me and Anthony did prior. I actually was wrong.
Well, I don't know if it's in you. Can you get the chat up on the screen because we can't see it over here?
Oh yes,
so that would just help.
I'm gonna put it up in the stream. Watch this. Their own comments.
So did you ever?
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
And here, as we're talking about that.
Yep. So there you go. So here's where it is. So Anthony, where is this? This is
right here.
What country? Where are we looking at here?
So the Rio Coca is in Colombia. So that's where they were actually found, in an inlet in the Rio Coca.
Okay. So it's so pretty, not like, we're not like some people were saying like fast water, but you're saying in the mouth of the river. So it's usually where the water slows down.
Yeah,
which would make sense for a sand sifter.
Yeah, I would be shocked if it was a speedy river at all.
Yeah, it may be probably like.
So we're not catching Alto Sinu here.
Yeah, because this is mainly rock area.
We're going to catch them here in the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they? Do you think they're in like a deeper water or?
You know, that's really not. I've never seen geophagus in really deep water.
Yeah.
One thing we had was we had the privilege of having Corey last time.
Yeah.
And if you remember, the geophagus that Corey showed us was in maybe 6 foot of water, if that.
Yep.
Most of the time. So you're not talking about really deep water species here.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's some frightening things in the Rio Coca, by the way, if you're a smaller fish.
We were just our local fish club was lucky enough that we had Corey from Aquarium Co-op come do a Zoom at our aquarium club this past Saturday. It was great. He talked all about his South American trip and collecting, just the whole adventure. Because a lot of us are, may never ever be able to do this or want to climb in the water with piranha, right? Or worry about electric eels, and all the. So what other fish are living with these geos, and what would you say are your favorite tank mates?
But wait, let's answer that question.
Oh, that's right.
Because one person guessed, they guessed wrong in the chat. Only one person did.
Yeah.
It's the Rio Coca. Coca.
Yeah, we
looked it up.
You guys, we're not playing trivia tonight for a prize. We're going to just do a drawing.
Yeah, we're going to do a drawing.
This is just fun because people commented and said they liked the trivia. Anthony made some trivia questions. I wrecked them all. We came up with some more. real quick.
Well, I'll jump back to that question. Give me another trivia for now.
Yeah.
Let's do another trivia.
We'll
stay on target here.
So this is just a random one because I was wrong before where these fish were from, and I was running with questions on the fly. How many identified types of piranha are there in the Amazon?
Well,
I'm
gonna guess. Just as in that river, I'm gonna guess 15.
15. That's
a
solid
number, right? 13. So
guess.
while they're guessing some numbers, we're gonna ask you who's your favorite partner fish in that tank.
I would say the rummy nose tetras.
The rummy nose.
Yeah, the rummy nose tetras were instrumental in getting them out of the cover and making them feel secure enough to roam around. So the rummy nose tetras were
because they're going to stay on the bottom of the tank. This fish, I guess, because it's sifter.
Yes, they are at the bottom, but I've seen them at the top too.
Okay.
One thing that was a shock about this fish is that it can jump. Several times when I was walking by the tank at night, I would startle one of them, and he would jump straight to the top and hit the glass pretty hard. And a 7-inch fish hitting the glass,
just
75 is a very awful thing.
Outside of the spooking, are they a notorious jumping fish?
I saw nothing about them being a jumping fish at all. Yeah. So I don't know
because they're probably the reason fish jump like betta is because they're in low water conditions or water conditions that deteriorate and need to jump to another.
You just gotta go just like the killifish too.
Yeah, killifish gotta find something better.
So I wonder if any of the 20 types of piranhas that have been identified jump. Do you guys think 20?
You think 20?
That's the answer.
Drop the answer because
that is the answer.
Who said over 20?
That's why I said that. Yeah, and somebody did guess over 20. I threw it up there before, and now everybody buried it in the chat.
Okay.
It was Holly Gibbs. Over 20.
Congratulations.
Good job, Holly. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We talked about this. If you guys watch any of our content.
Just they're banned fish in Florida.
Yeah.
No piranhas.
And that's it. Keep piranhas.
Yeah. Does anybody keep any any fish that are a little bit on that outskirts?
What other fish did we do a video on?
With Mr.
Fernando.
Yes, was in one of our other videos.
It was.
Yeah. And if you want to ever, let that play in the background, that's fine with us.
Yeah.
But it was definitely. I kind of remember a little bit, but
I can say the name now.
Well, we're gonna let that simmer while they answer it, and we're gonna keep on because I have a million questions for Anthony.
Keeping on.
And hold on, that's not what I want. I'm opening the wrong thing.
Into the chat.
By the way, somebody in the chat was mentioning snakeheads. I really wish we could have some.
Right. Oh yeah. You guys want to talk about snakeheads?
No.
I really wish we could have dwarf snakeheads, but we can't in Florida.
Wow. They're cool.
Yeah, the dwarf channel are completely banned.
I've been looking at them and they're absolutely crazy. Bill's like, no. Bill likes snakeheads like he likes oxalatos. You guys, I still have his oxalato.
Rock. So anyway, give me what is the hardest challenge that you face in raising gold dust earth eater fry? What's a survival challenge that is maybe unique to this fish, or is something you feel is like a little bit more than work that you got to really pay attention to?
It was figuring out that what the female needed to release them was the hardest one. I know I missed a couple of batches because I didn't
she just eats them?
Well, I think what happened was she refuses to release them unless she has a place where she feels secure. And putting them in a 75 with 5 other Alto Sinos and a school of 18 rummy nose and 2 Coriodoris meant that there was no place that was secure for her fish.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't until I learned that, hey, she's really needing a very specific condition. She's needing to be alone to feel secure enough to release them, that I stopped losing fish. So, I think this is probably a relic behavior of what they do in the actual Rio Coco.
Yeah.
I think what they do is they get together to breed, and then the females go off and find a lone corner to raise their young and security.
So there is good husbandry. The fish stays with the fry, grows them out. How long would you, for you, how long do you keep the mother with the fry?
Until she tells me that she wants to go. And they'll tell you when they want to go, when they stop shadowing the fry, when you approach the tank.
Okay.
That's when they will tell you that it's time to back them off.
Okay.
And so that's why I ended up moving them.
Yeah. Question for Anthony. He wants to backtrack on. This is Josh, you guys, from Killy Trans. I came in late, Anthony. Do you soften or alter your water to match their wild type parameters? Yeah, he talked about this, Josh.
So
we'll let him talk about it one more time here. This is
so
ideal.
Killy Trans, for the Alto Sinos, no, that was not required at all. Our parameters here in South Florida are very close to the Rio Coca. However, I do keep another type of fish called the Ivana caras. I keep both Atiqueta and Bimaculata. And both of them require very soft, very, very soft, very acidic pH water. So I do a lot of conditioning to those tanks. I start with RO, and I use Topolies, I use alder cones that I have shipped down from up north inside of those tanks. And I have to stagger every 4 to 5 water changes with 1 water change of regular water to allow the trace materials that these fish do need in the water to actually exist into that water. So for Alto Sinos, no. But for other fish, absolutely.
And you guys in the chat also throw in comments. What do you guys use for botanicals in your areas? Like I like them here, as you can tell. But I just use my oak from right outside.
To answer our last trivia question that we did, if you want to drop that answer in there, was the Crobia, where we talk about in that video using leaf litter, how it was a big success point for Jody in breeding them. And we talked about how the leaf litter in the tank was really the right answer for a lot of the breeding challenges that we were up against, and learning about tannins, because we were talking about how we used Purigen with the Crobia, so the water was clear, but there were other fish that you were like, yeah, the tannins were absolutely necessary. So it's a learning lesson.
Yeah, it really is.
Absolutely. So I mean, I think that's like, a really part of
I'd be telling everybody about this, Richard, since you told me this, and I just never know what I was telling Anthony today. Like, it's some brand new invention. Like, this is.
Yeah,
I learned so much stuff that you never.
I think like banana leaves, like what Richard's talking about there. I mean, maybe that could also be beyond the tannin effect. Beyond the litter effect. What is it putting into the water? Also, is a banana leaf high in potassium like a banana? Well, but these are these is where my brain goes with stuff like that.
Here's where my brain is going on it. I think it's not a coincidence that the Ivana cara need that leaf litter, because I think the tannins do something to protect the eggs. Because what I noticed is that when I didn't have any leaf litter there, the eggs would die almost immediately. Within a day, they were changing colors. Now that the leaf litter is there, I'm still not getting fry to the ages that I need them to get to grow out, but at least the eggs aren't immediately changing colors, which is a step in the right direction. So I'm very hopeful in the next year I'll have a car that's figured out. By the way, the gentleman who said banana leaves, I will tell you that that's one of my projects too. I keep banana plants as well, and that is one of the things that I'm going to be looking into this year as well.
So he made a comment here. I use it for the biofilm. So that's interesting to me.
It is.
That is feeding that biofilm, and that's food. I mean, that's that's a lot of your people don't realize it. It's like your environment needs to feed your fish as much as you feed it too.
Yeah.
And people say I'm feeding the fish. You're feeding the tank. You gotta look at it that way, because there's more in there than that. So, and really everybody's design is gonna be different. So there is no how much should you feed, exactly what should you feed. I mean, I found with my pea puppers, some of them will eat baby brine, some of them won't. I mean, some of them will eat worms, some of them won't. It's just preference. And really it's about personality preference. Like you said, you've had fish you don't even think they're related.
Yeah, I actually bred pea puffers a long time ago, and everybody told me they killed Malaysian trumpet snails. So I tried putting Malaysian trumpet snails in their tank. Oh God! They ignored the Malaysian trumpet snails. They annihilated everything else. But the Malaysian trumpet snails, oh no, they would not eat that for anything.
And what I've noticed with them is that it's a size thing. If it's anything big, they're like I have shrimp in there. I've red cherry shrimp in there that they don't bother just because they're big enough. They're the same size at 3/4 inch, so they go on.
By the way, Richard Reynolds, I saw you mentioned the oak leaves. Yeah, I wish I had an oak tree that I could actually take from that tree. I think you have a great resource there.
Yeah, let me tell you, I know a guy who sells the oak leaves right here in Florida, Anthony. You can leave us some for.
I would love to have that.
For $5, it's less than the $10 you walk in the pet store. You just take a couple branches. I got a trim. There's a whole pile of them.
I would love to know about that.
They're in my yard. Yeah, go ahead.
So, Jody, what I want you to do is I want you to kind of let's go through the comments, go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's pull some questions because I know there was a lot going by and we were just kind of chatting. And so, if there's any really good questions, let's pull some out here.
Pull up here a little bit. Yeah. If anybody can tell me too in the chat, if I'm on YouTube on my phone, can I moderate myself real quick and throw up links?
Yes, you can.
So there was a few. We can go back a little ways. Yeah, I don't really know about a lot of that. Whoops,
YouTube's not my thing.
I wanted you guys up there. Hey, so you guys can talk. How far back should we go here? Let's see.
I don't know.
LRB had nice things to say, but I put that up already. Oh, you guys, there he is.
They're doing the dance.
Oh, I can see your guys' computer. Look, I see you.
Yeah, no, I have my laptop on so we can see. We're usually not looking at this.
We'll have to figure out. Let's look for these questions here. Well, I'm just cruising up. I used to have them in Texas. I came in late.
Grab the first one you can find there.
What?
Grab the first one you can find. And while he's digging for some questions, what is your time from like when they're okay?
Here's the one I was looking for.
The mother has released them till you're comfortable to sell them. What is how much time investment do they take?
Well, for me, it's got to be at least 2.5 inches. I don't like to release fish any smaller than that because I want to know that they have the best chance they can of going to a good home and to going to there and getting maximum chance of success for whoever gets them next in their journey. So I usually wait about 4 to 5 months.
So were you not a fan of the size of fish we got in our box exchange?
No, in fact, I was really not happy because I know some people who got those fish, and those fish were so small that I don't know the single one that was actually successful. And I think that's a problem.
You were.
I think that's a real problem.
Yeah.
Because it discourages people from feeling free to buy those fish. And so I want to avoid discouraging anyone. I think as a breeder, you don't want to let go of things unless you know that the person on the other side is going to have the maximum time for success.
Yep.
So to me, if that involves an 8-month layovers to make certain the Montezuma Swordtails have differentiated into male and female, so be it. That's what it is. That's the deal. That's what you owe the end user. So
and I think
that to me is only responsible.
Here's a question for you guys. You guys can answer this because you're water people, so you guys are on screen.
Oh boy, hold on.
Killie traps. People always say never chase parameters. But is that an invalid argument, or does it depend on what you want to achieve?
I have some thoughts on that.
So I'm gonna interject my thoughts.
I want to hear both.
I'm gonna interject my thoughts, and then I'm gonna go from there. I think
hot takes with
now he rephrased it as don't chase parameters, but the famous saying is don't chase pH.
Yeah.
And the reason is because when people say pH, they don't understand water structure and what you could change your pH a lot. I change my pH over a degree every single day. My fish are fine. I don't change my carbonate hardness every single day. And that's what people don't understand is Your carbonate hardness is very related to a fish's osmotic balance with the water around it. And if you change that rapidly, you have an imbalance, or the fish goes into what's called the osmotic shock. And this is what happens when you have a tank that you've had set up for years and years and years, and then you introduce a new fish to it, and that fish does not make it, and you keep doing it, and you don't understand your fish are healthy, your fish are great, but the fish you're getting aren't surviving. It's because you haven't looked at your carbonate hardness and what the fish is coming from to what they're going to, and it's too rapid of a change. This is why drip acclimation is the best acclimation, slowly adapt them to more than just temperature. You're adapting them to the water structure. Where GH, calcium and magnesium are important to a fish's, body, but not nearly as fast of a issue. That's a long-term issue, lack of calcium and stuff like that. And it's going to vary fish to fish. But carbonate hardness is related, but not tied to your pH. And when you are a hobbyist in an entry level and you're changing your pH and you're chasing that pH number, you're changing your KH to make your pH change. So that's what causes it. Now, I want to hear what you have to say about that.
So first of all, pH stands for potential of hydrogen.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is that inside of the water, you have hydrogen and hydroxide that will combine to form water. That's the true neutral. So when you have all H's equaling OH, that's when you have exactly neutral water. When you have more OH's than H's, that's when you have basic water. When you have more H's than OH's, that's when you have acidic water. Mm-hmm. These things will change constantly in your tank. So if you're trying to chase that perfect number, it's a fool's errand. And in fact, you're probably doing damage to the fish inside of that tank for exactly the reasons that Bill mentioned earlier. So here's what I would tell you. For 90% of the fish in the hobby, you do not need to chase anything. In fact, if you really want to do something, you can put buffers into the water. Things like crushed coral can buffer up the water. Lace rock buffers up the water. If you can find, for instance, Texas holy rock, that is an amazing buffer for African cichlids, for instance. Those are really good things to use for things that need slightly basic pH. For acidic critters, yeah, I'm starting to learn that there are some in our hobby, like for instance the Avanacaris, where I am doing exactly what you were saying. I am trying to chase a more acidic pH because I'm finding that the eggs absolutely need that. But I want to stress this to you. This is an exception. It is not the rule. Mm-hmm. The rule is, in general, in this hobby, most fish right now are captive bred. Most fish that are available right now have converted to the parameters. And so when people like Ann's Fish tell you they're doing well in my water, he's not lying to you. They really are doing well in that water because they're no longer one generation from the wild. There are many generations.
Yeah, they're way out.
That are completely different from the parameters of their origin.
So. Yeah, their fish are being culled because the fish that can't survive the harder parameters end up dying at the farm, and the fish that live are the ones that breed. It's the theory of evolution. It really works.
Yeah.
A lot of fish come out of Florida. I mean, a big part of the hobby, and we have surface run water with a lot of
shout out.
So we have a hard water with a pretty close, maybe just above neutral pH.
Yeah, we have liquid rock in some places. It really is that hard.
Out in Lehigh, where it's like really 9 and stuff. Trey, what's up? Says Montezuma. Just a shout out. Not a question. Here, we'll give you a little picture. There's a picture of one.
Yep.
That was it, Trey. Sneak peek.
Yep.
Sneak peek.
There's a Trey I know that's actually getting some of Anthony's Montezumas. I take them home with me. So
there it is. Sneak peek. Is that him? I wonder if that's him.
That's not him. I know.
Oh, right on.
Different Trey.
More questions. Oh, Dee here. Dee asks a question for Uncle Joe, and I'll read it to myself. Uncle Joe, do you raise the fish on your site? I'm assuming you mean the website here, Dee. So yeah, quite a few of them I do. We breed a lot of fish here, and I raise them here on site at the shed. And then a lot of the other ones here I get from our trusted breeders, just a network of people that I meet. We go and literally check out Anthony there. Yeah, we
This
check
is
out their place,
trusted
check the
breeders.
water, their fish. You know, I make sure that they're kind of on the same par or the same wavelength that we are here. You know, I want best management practices to be followed, and you know, I really like that.
And responsibility.
Responsible conservation and things like that. So those are the people I do work with, and most of them just happen to be right here local to me in Florida, or within a few hours. I have people, you know, maybe a couple that I'll work with up in Georgia also. Otherwise, there's no way I could
hold all the fish.
Yeah, I'm only allowed to pick up like all these all the Sinu that we have on the website here. And I just saw that. Thanks for hopping in. You guys check them out. Like I said before, Anthony misses being able to buy a $10 fish. I was not marketing these for $10. I have 25 of them here at the shed right now. $10 fish. You guys get a hold of me first though before I list them on there, because I want these guys to be able to have them.
And I mean, I think a great answer. A great answer to that is, like, you know, places like Dan's Fish are buying from Anthony. So, you know, the Crovia went out there. So there's plenty of breeders out there like Anthony that are, you know, the foundation of the hobby. And that's why we want to kind of make videos like this. Like, if somebody's on the fence, like, should I try it? Yeah. You know, if you've got, you know, the interest in it and you've got some passion, maybe it's the part of the hobby that will suck you in and suck your wallet dry, you know. But the idea is that you know, get the joy out of your hobby, get your flow, as I say.
Yeah.
You know, spend your time with it because you enjoy doing it, and it's your relief.
Amen.
You know. So
let's hop another couple of questions here. Some good questions in here. These will be for Anthony here. Liam, do your Alto females all eat their first batch of eggs? So Anthony talked about this a little bit before if you're hopping in, but take it because we can hear it again. It's nice and quick.
So the answer to that is they did swallow their first batches, but again, that wasn't because they wanted to do this at all. It was because the fish keeper didn't realize the behavior and what they required. At the time, I didn't realize that I needed to take the female out. And so they held on to them for so long that I think the babies died in the mouth of the mother because she wouldn't release them because she didn't feel secure enough to release them. As I said earlier, I think these females put an enormous energy resource into those eggs, and they don't want to lose that energy resource. They want to pass on their genes. That is the one biological imperative that most of the female fish do have. And so as long as you're taking those females out, and I would wait a couple of days, let them sit there a couple of days so that they definitely don't want to swallow it, because if they have that much into it, they're not going to swallow it and go into net them and you transfer them into another tank. That's one of the things we learned from African cichlid hobby is that the longer the females hold the eggs, the more attached to them they are. And so the answer is, yes, the first couple of them were swallowed, but no, I think it's because the baby fish died because they weren't allowed to leave. It wasn't until I noticed that we had this unusual method of reproducing that I relied on past knowledge and provided the females with what they need, and then I didn't lose a single batch.
Right on. One more question I want to take really quick. I'm going to address this too really quick. So, Adam, thank you very, very much for your order. I saw it. Your fish will quarantine out this week, and they'll ship next week. I am able usually to email or message every single person that buys fish on the website. For some reason, that option is not even there for you. Please go on the website and try to message me, or maybe you didn't sign up. I don't know. It's not there. I was going to say thank you. So I'm glad you hopped on here.
But he's getting some of
Yeah.
Auntie's fish. So you're gonna get to ask the.
We're gonna ask the original breeder of those fish. I have the babies. Yeah.
So
Anthony, he ordered some Corobian this week. He's super excited. What are some tips for spawning these?
Well, first of all, you made a great choice because the Corobian zinglensis is a beautiful fish. I will tell you that what I would do as far as any type of a carp, this is a tried and true method that seems to work with all the genus of a carp. What you do is you have a 75, and you want to have two different areas that the pairs can defend on either side of the tank. You want to start with 6 to 8 so that they can naturally pair off, and you've maximized your chance of getting 2 pairs. And so what's going to happen is when they begin to pair off, they're going to choose one of the corners to defend as their home territory. And ideally what you want is 2 pairs out of it, because when you get the 2 pairs, they will reinforce each other's bond by defending that area. At that time, the 2 that are left over that don't bond, these are the ones that you're going to want to take out and take to your local fish club or take to your local fish store if they accept trade-ins. Then you're just going to let them defend their corners until they start laying eggs. When they start laying eggs, now it's the time to get the other pair out and go to another tank with that as a backup pair if that's what you want, or you can even take them to a store if you know that these are in fact now a laying pair. And that's what I would do if I were you. That is, to me, the tried and true method of actually spawning a carp. One thing I will tell you, look for them digging on the sand or the pebbles, whatever you provide them, because they will build, I would call it a playpen. It's going to be a small indentation in the sand, and they're going to put the babies into that indentation, and they will keep moving them. So if you see them dry and go to another, don't be alarmed. This is completely normal. Another thing they really do love doing is
a good shot of your belly.
Whoa.
Another thing they really love doing.
I'm going to pull the fish up here. You guys, I was going to try to show you what Anthony's talking about.
When the babies are immobile. So be looking and be mindful for that, because you don't want
to
even
work?
Siphon them out.
That way.
Does it work at all?
Yeah. Yep.
So I hope that answers your question. Again, you definitely want to condition them as well, because remember, in order to get really good spawns with the Corobian, you absolutely do need to condition the females so that the females can lay as much of the eggs as possible.
I'm trying to show you guys the eggs here, the babies.
You want to have baby brine as well, ready to go. So once you know that they've been moved, time to start the baby brine, because they're going to be eating within a day of being mobile. So this hatchery is really good. I cannot recommend this hatcheries enough. That's what I use. That's the only thing I trust to hatch out the baby brine that I need.
There's this hatcher, which I have one too, and it's such an easy thing to use.
Yes, it is.
And the fish are great. Like if we're sitting here and you see me do this, this is the problem with doing it in here, is I'm staring at the fish. And he had some geophagus.
I tried to get that
after I talked about it on Mexicali. And I said I was eyeballing this fish, so he moved him. So, but
did that work a little bit? Could you guys see that?
Yeah, we can see
it. I just tried that real quick, you guys. Right on. I was putzing around with that. I lost where we're at and what we're doing. But
so I mean, I just want to kind of remind everybody, coming up pretty soon, we're going to do the giveaways for the Gold Dust Earth Eater group, and we're going to do the giveaways for the Swordtails, Montezuma Swordtails, which you also breed. So tell us a little bit about, we don't want to go as deep, but a little bit about the Montezuma Swordtails. Like, where are they from?
They're from Tomastopo. That's their collection location.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know as much about their conditions in their water, but I would suspect it's very much like Florida's water, because these swordtails have been some of the easiest swordtails I've had as far as breeding has been concerned. And Montezumas don't really have that kind of reputation as being, really, really easy to breed. So these have been really a pleasure to work with. They do take a long time to differentiate, though. I will say this.
You have them forever till you say they're ready.
You want to have a live bear technique that is working and established. So by that I mean you want something like hornwort, very thickly covered hornwort over part of the aquarium, because the females will will not lay, they will give birth to the babies inside of that hornwort. And that hornwort provides a shelter for them, because if their shelter is not there, lots of swordtails eat their babies. I've not had that happen, but I knew to watch for this. So I knew to set up the hornwort there in the corner. And so I got really large. I got really lucky. I got really large amounts of spawns from 4 initial fish. So
yeah,
beautiful,
they're
big
being
long tails.
they're absolutely gorgeous.
And when you're
and the proper finish too, the shell type finish. So yeah,
when you're breeding them, what are you breeding them in?
This is a 38. So I use a 38 to breed them because I want them to have that height as well. I really think that's important for especially baby fish that want to be at the top. And I intentionally have some cultured springtails that I put at the top as well, and I think they snack on that too, especially the babies top of the tank. So
I've heard a lot of breeders talk about when a lot of these fish are not even visible or they're not out and about in the tank, that it's the microbial level. You can't even get food to them, which is the hardest part. So it's really important that there is the right maturity of the tank, so you could have that food available for the microfry.
That's why I use baby for the microfry, because they'll swim and they'll last a long time.
Yeah,
they last a surprisingly long time in fresh water.
Yeah,
so they will last long enough that the babies will find them inside of that hornwort. Hornwort is a beautiful, beautiful spawning location for swordtails and most livebearers.
Did you ever try the darrow worm from Josh?
You know what? I do have darrow worms, but I have not tried them yet. I don't have sufficient numbers on them, and I don't feel that I'm an expert enough to risk my culture at this point. I want to have at least 3 or 4 cultures going before I actually risk it, because once you lose it, it's gone.
Chili Trans does.
Yeah, I mean,
a bunch. So many people do those foods. They seem
Chili Trans is
so
our
much more work. You guys, speaking of all these fish, we may not be able to feed baby fish. We might not have any baby swordtails here at the moment. But up in that tank above Anthony's head, there's a pair of swordtails to give away.
Yep.
And the best way to give them away is to be on guard.
Be on guard?
We're going to be on guard.
Okay.
Hashtag on guard.
Hashtag on guard.
If you guys would like a chance to win the swordtails,
that's going to be our hashtag on guard.
That is it right there.
Yep.
Hashtag on guard. Not this swordtail, but some from Anthony's right above his head. You guys, hashtag on guard if you want them. Local pickup is available. We take care of the fish. You guys pay shipping on them. They're absolutely beautiful. There's a male and a female up there. That's decent size.
I can pull this off.
And you can. I bet you can, Bill. Bill's got this, you guys. We're gonna. Oh, he's trying. No swordtail love. There's some quarantine tanks. Working on it.
Yeah, it's pretty dark in there, but at least he is. He's just
up
chilling
in there. If you guys can see him, I'm gonna open that up. There's the male. Oh, there you got him actually. So if anybody would like to be entered,
I think this is
to win these.
All right, you
It's
get
gonna
the
be
full view of
hashtag
the
on
shed
guard.
here, and you see like Jody's like all the way over here, and we're all the way over
I don't
here.
know if it's case sensitive or anything like that. You might
fix
just have to get up
our
and
shed
fix her.
Yeah, well, you could change the
It
camera.
can just be Anthony.
I don't
It's
know.
just Anthony over there. I could change the camera so you guys aren't doing that too. But you know what? That wasn't that bad.
That wasn't that bad.
That wasn't, you guys. This is,
Yeah,
you know,
through a
you guys
line.
are here on guard. Ozen, Solus, hey, what's up? Trey, Liam, are you in there? You need to ship to me in Canada.
Yeah,
You know,
Hey.
how close to the border are you? I don't know how much shipping up there, but
If you get really close to the
Stacy's
border,
in
we'll
on
throw it over.
you know, on guard. We have another question just to finish up on that conditioning here while we wait and see if some more people want to fight with the swords. I like having you guys on the screen because then I can mess around and do stuff. Liam, question on conditioning. How much is too much? These Altos beg. Sorry. I was just looking at mine. And they do. They're like, oh, it's just like little puppies on top of the water. These Altos beg all day long. I feed them mostly frozen while conditioning. They look amazing. And the Western Rainbow Dithers have doubled in size in 3 weeks. Liam, did I comment on your Altos on a picture of them on a forum?
I don't know.
Anyways, Anthony.
So how much is too much?
Is there too much conditioning?
I guess theoretically, yes. I wouldn't worry about it unless you see uneaten food sitting at the bottom. I really wouldn't worry about it because, again, Alto Sinu are GFAs, and uneaten food at the bottom is how they naturally find food. And so they're going to pick it up and they're going to eat it. I guess the question is, how is your bank feeling about that? If it's a string, then maybe you go back a little bit.
So with them being a sifting fish, is it like so it's a requirement, I guess, to have a sand base in it? You know?
No, actually, I've got both. I have small pebbles and I have and you know, I think in nature it's not perfect anywhere in nature. So I don't really think you need to lose sleep if you have small pebbles or if you have sand. I'm not even sure I'd lose sleep if I had some crushed coral in there, to be completely honest.
Because
I think it would be okay.
They're going in the wild, which you're going to have a whole different assortment of it. But so that, you know, as long as it can pass,
yes,
as long as you can pass the gills, then you're fine.
Yep.
We're saying on guard because we're gonna fight with swords. Hashtag on guard. If you if you would like to win the Montezuma Swords, it's just a caveat. I'm sorry.
Guard.
I'm Enrico Montoya.
Say that
on guard, you guys. Let's spin this thing. Do I have to go over to the other screen, or can I draw from here? No, I have to.
All-time classic.
Yeah, let's draw for these, you guys, and see who's going to get a pair of Anthony's beautiful, beautiful swords.
Marshall.
Oh, Marshall. Mike Reardon. There you go, Mike.
Congratulations,
Mike. Right
You're
on.
Yes.
So I do believe one of these guys needs a whoever was waiting and wanted a congratulations, Mike. Super Red Pleco from the 12 Days of Fishmas. I have the Super Red Plecos now. I just don't remember who it was. I'll have to go back through my emails. There you go. Not your exact fish. Congratulations, guys. Where were we at before I slowly interrupted us?
Well, the you know, basically, we're gonna have our Gold Dust Earth Eater giveaway in a couple of minutes here, but we got to come up with a good you know, hashtag for them.
Yeah.
So is anybody got like a really good hashtag we can drop for the gold, like golden? I mean, that's a little.
That's kind of lame.
That's lame.
That's low effort.
You know? So.
What is that thing that they say in Austin Powers? What does he say about golden?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Well, how about let's just drop it. Hashtag yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Hashtag yeah, baby. That's what you're gonna say when you win.
Babe.
Oh,
baby. I wonder how you do this. Let's see. Can I go backwards on here and just change it? Can you guys see me staring at my screen? Whoa! I'm learning how to do this, so you don't have to see my nose. Choose a live stream. Yeah, baby.
So I think that, you know, right now we got a couple of swordtails going out. We're gonna now do this as a group of 5. Now understand that's why is it going to be a group 5? Is it like best to keep them in the group for aggression, or is there any reasons for?
I think you have a pretty decent chance of getting males and females. And again, my goal in everything that I breed like this is that I want more people to have success breeding them as well and to spread them out.
Yeah. So
and
you're gonna have
to me,
have
that's the joy of doing the fish keeping. But that's the way I find joy in the hobby. So it's different for other people.
Yeah.
But I think you have a very good chance of getting the males and females you need
The combo,
with the 5. Yeah.
with the 5 of them.
We can't give that away yet. We have to wait.
No, we had a few minutes. We got to let people, get in there. We should have it up on the screen so we can see it.
We do. Yeah,
So,
I suppose we've been up on here an hour and 15 minutes already, huh?
Yeah.
Wow,
Hashtag, yeah, baby. I'm going to put that up in here. Watch this. You guys can watch me type.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch while we're watching him type. A thing that really help is like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, and let them know that Uncle Joe's got to have these fish. And it's gonna, how much are these going for on the site?
$10.
He had to start
$10, you guys. $10 on the website.
And because Anthony wants
www.unclejoesfishshed.com.
Yeah.
Hit it up. I'll throw these up, you guys.
We'll get them up
if you guys want these, I'm going to wait a couple days to put them up. Let some of these guys get a chance first.
By the way,
I have 25 right now. That's all I have.
By
Is that all I have? 25.
I don't know.
I
don't know what your stock is.
Is there more to be had?
I don't know what your stock is.
I have 25.
Okay,
but we're probably going to need some more. But I do know something that I overheard. I think I overheard you guys talking about. You're sending another fish to Dan's.
Yeah, I am.
Congratulations!
Actually, I'm sending another batch to Dan's, and so
get them here before you get them at Dan's. You guys,
you're going to be paying a lot more with Dan's.
$45.99 at Dan's.
And I just want to state that Dan's is one of our favorite places.
Oh, he is my single favorite. Yeah,
and that even though that they'll ship the fish to Dan's, Dan is going to quarantine that fish before he sells it to anybody.
Yes,
so he's going to invest in that fish, and that drives the price up. Now these fish have been invested to here. The simple fact is that Jody's crazy, and he wants to get these fish out at the $10 price that it was his budget. It was my growing up budget. So what it does is it's not. These aren't going out for profit. These are going out for the betterment of the hobby and to get people to get this fish in their tanks and then see if this is the right fish for you.
We got the cobia down at $10 all the way. We're gonna work these geos through.
Yeah,
I'll run these out at $10. Hopefully,
and they're not going to be $10 forever. This is just the special for now. We're seeing the dream through, because I think the mission of Uncle Joe's Fish Shed was that it's allowing the breeders that are breeding the fish of a high quality, that are well cared for, that are doing it for the right reasons. Like Anthony's breeding a lot of hard to find or rare or maybe even endangered fish. We have friends that are breeding some of the most beautiful rainbow fish I've ever seen. We have got so many great breeders around here locally, and allows us to have so much access that we want to share. But that's what we have a sample of. Obviously, if you got a fish club, share it with us. We would love to do a box swap with you and here in Fort Myers. And I'm sure there's some other clubs around. And this way we can kind of get our fish that were, super easy to get here. Like I just picked up some silver tip tetras from the auction that just came in. And I was like, man, I'm in love with this fish. Now I'm going to get like 20 of them, You
guys, should we wrap up? Another trivia question. Get ready. Show these guys these fish.
Let's do that. Give everybody that.
By the way, Cody, can I add something about your stock list that I saw?
You can.
I noticed that you keep the rubber lip pleco.
I do.
So for those of you that are wanting a biotope aquarium for the Rio Coca, that's one of the species that the Alto geophagus actually inhabits the waters with. So that's
I bet you
notice. Actually,
if you guys order Alto, you can order some of those too. We can get them in the same box. Maybe whoever wins these. We have a little bit of time left. We could hit some of these, see if there's any more questions in the chat. You guys, a lot of babies in there. $10. WTF shipped to me. I'm telling you, Liam, that's what we're gonna do. I have 25. You're going to need to hit me up. Don't go to the website. I'm sure they're just going to be gone. Now I'm going to have to go and go visit the breeder and take a left on Shady Side Street. Let me tell you, you never know what you're going to run into when you're out picking up fish. So again, you guys, yeah, baby. Let's
you have a question for him in there? In your baby
I'm looking here.
rant?
Let's see. No,
We've got no questions for you.
I just got here's a nice one though that I like. Ivana Cara breeding, good deal. A lot of people struggle with those, and good luck with them, bro. Let us know how they go.
You'll like them. They're really amazing fish.
Absolutely beautiful fish. So anyways, we just did a few trivia questions here earlier. Now we have some more because I know we've talked about them because Anthony just brought them up just randomly.
Oh, yeah, that was actually, we did just talk about this. So if you were in here, you know what? I think, do we have another prize that we can give somebody if they can guess this correctly?
Well, Anthony had mentioned before that he had sold some swords earlier, and he would like to take that money that he sold for the swordtails, and he would like to give that away.
So let's give away a gift card to Uncle Joe's Fish Shed.
For how much, Anthony?
$40.
$40. All right. So
guys,
if you've been in here this whole time, we'll give you a minute or two. You could back up. You could find that answer. Yeah, easy. What you clicking on there?
Whoa, the goal. I was just clicking through everything, you guys.
So needless to say, maybe he just dumped the answer there. Maybe you can just pause it and go back and catch up. But let's see. You got it. I don't see this chat on the screen where we're sitting over here. You'd have to watch that. And
you can do like this.
You get in there first.
So how are we remember? Just see who got it like right off the rip when you said it? It was Liam.
Space Coast.
Because you got to see it. If it was Liam, I can't because it doesn't.
Oh, CRP up there as it too. Is there anybody above
so many people so fast.
So we see anybody above CRP.
I see Liam right above CRP at 920. It would be Liam.
All right, congratulations,
Liam. Congratulations. Liam's gonna there you go. Nice,
good job.
So Liam, I bet you I know what Liam's gonna get too because he just said, was that not who just said ship them to me? He did.
Yeah.
So the only thing you can't use the gift card on is sailfish. I'm gonna have to let him use it though. Yeah, because I have that on there from the best giveaways. But maybe talk to me about it. We'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that we'll talk about it. I'm
cool
about stuff.
I think that this.
Oh, he's in Canada. Liam.
Oh,
you have a $40 gift card. We're gonna let Liam choose what he wants to do with the $40 gift card. He's in Canada. I can't ship that to him. Liam
to Canada.
But guess what? I have swag.
Yeah.
I have Uncle Joe mystery boxes. I ship eggs, killifish eggs. Yep. So don't count it out. But just so you know, you can also forfeit your prize and give it to somebody else if you would like. I'd take the shirt.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Speaking of prizes, and just while we're sitting here waiting for these next two giveaways, thank you, Anthony. You guys, everyone, say thank you to Anthony in the chat.
Thank you, Anthony, for
time to call. We have a couple things here.
For Anthony. And it's a little bit of a drive for Anthony to come out here. It's not he doesn't live that close by, so he spent some time to come out and really appreciate it. And we're really lucky to have people like Anthony around and just the simple fact that you're jammed up with a fish question, Anthony's always there to answer.
Oh my gosh, I can call him at any time. Phil, there's a bag over by there if you want to give him that.
Oh, that's right. We got a gift for Anthony.
Awesome.
So we're gonna have Anthony open it up right here. I don't know what it is because he told me yesterday. I got a gift for Anthony. And he says, I'm not going to tell you.
I almost forgot. No, that's another one. This one's okay. Go ahead. Yeah,
I can go.
That's just for coming on. That's
Oh.
that is
Awesome.
just if people come on, this is what we're. I didn't know if we should give you the selfie shirt so you could always be backwards and see online, or we give you one of those.
Fantastic. Thank you, gentlemen.
If you guys support,
thank you so much.
Because you guys, we're going to throw these up on the website too. You're welcome. And then so I met you when I first started doing fish down here, Anthony. You're one of the first people that I met when I learned about online fish keeping and stuff at the fish club and whatnot. And you put up with a lot for me, you know, and so do a lot of people. Shout out to anybody who does. You know, sometimes I'm kind of hot-headed and crabby. So to everyone, sorry about that. But we have something else here for you. Now, you're going to want the packaging, but I took this from my wife, and I don't think she knows it's gone. It's some kind of reusable bag. But this is for you, too. Thank you so much.
Kill that text on the screen.
But we're just going to kill the text. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Some people are. I'm going to stop running comments on the screen because I can see now. This is.
Shall I open it?
Yeah, go.
All right.
Yeah. This is yours.
Oh, wow. Okay.
CRP, sorry. Oh yeah, CRP. So this is real. This is really, you guys. I'm gonna cry because we've talked about this tank today.
I shall treasure it forever.
Signed by Jody, a picture of me.
So listen, okay, listen. It is signed by me.
Yes, it is.
It's a picture of Aquila signed by me.
But hey,
the thing
I'll treasure it forever. It'll go straight into my fish room.
This is important, you guys, because
it will be.
It's the Crobia. We did some videos on this. That piece of valve was like 28 feet long, was it? I don't remember. It was long, 6 feet. I'm bad with math. And you weren't here to sign it. It's like, you know, it's got the little stuff on top to make it look like a collector's piece. Look. And I did all that, and I'm like, this will be like all collector's things someday. Watch, Bill's going to be famous. And then I'm like, I'll just sign it quick for him. And then I accidentally wrote Uncle Joe instead of Aqualust. Thank you, Anthony. We really, really, really
appreciate it. Thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. You guys also, we'll have some Aqualust shirts up on the website here pretty soon, and probably, I'd like to throw Bill's channel up in the chat. You guys go follow Bill. Aqualust.
Yeah, YouTube.com/
I wish I could get that in there. It's a parting gift. It is. Here, look at all these. These are all for Anthony. I'll take eggs. So get a hold of me, bro.
So
thanks. These are just a bunch of thank yous to Anthony. We're just going to go through them here and just throw them up, you guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Anthony.
Thanks, appreciate it.
You guys really.
So I think we're there. We're there. We get Yeah Baby, get it in. If you can take 5 Altos, Sinu, Gold Dust, Earth Eater. Do we have another scientific name we can throw in there?
No, because
Geophagus
species designation, which means it's distinct, but it hasn't been formally described yet.
Okay.
So that's why it's Geophagus species, also Sinu.
So do we remember what was our hashtag? I don't even remember. It was Yeah Baby. So again, you guys,
if you could take, and it's going to be a group of 5, so make sure you can take all 5. So that
5
the best chance, like Anthony. And if you obviously you have questions, reach out. We'll get you in touch. You know, and it's something that is,
I'm telling. There it is. The name. Thank you, Liam, for throwing that up. That is the only name, and Liam says it the best. You guys, you honestly are crazy. I'm crazy. I'm doing it.
I agree.
I am doing this. I'm doing this to help Anthony. I know what your desire is, my friend.
I would pay the $10, buy all the fish, and then call Jody back and tell him you have some fish for sale.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because you know
flip them before you even ship them. That's how you do it.
Fish flippers on the next episode.
Flipping fish. That's what we're going to turn it to.
There they are, you guys.
Yes, it is a beautiful fish.
Yeah, maybe it's 9:29, you guys. So Liam has his gift card. Thank you, Liam. Get a hold of me. We gave away the other fish to Mike Reardon.
Yep. We have
correct.
So
That's
Mike,
correct. We have that in there.
What we need Mike to do is we need to drop the email or just go right to the website and go to the contact information, drop Jody an email with your information, and then this way it's all just one page. This makes the shipping of it a lot easier and work out the details.
So Dee Dee threw the link up there. Thank you, Dee Dee, for hopping in. She's double dipping. Dee Dee, you are a freaking hero. She is a mod she's modding elsewhere right now. Thank you, Dee Dee.
Yes, thank you.
There's the product page, you guys. Go order them now before I change the price to $10. Because I'm going to change it to $10. I'm going to have to. I just said I would. They're already listed. I was going to tell everybody they were listed when we were done here tonight. I was already going to snake on at $20, knowing that was a deal at $20.
Yep.
I mean, they're selling them $10 and $20 an inch.
This is true.
There's the link. Go get them, you guys, quick before I get off here and the $10 ones are gone. I would go quickly.
Yes.
I would just buy them
before he gets his chance to change his price.
100 fish right on. You guys.
All right, let's do it.
There's the email. If anybody wants these, get a hold of me. Let's rock this, you guys. Yeah, baby is the drawing name. You guys, you know what I did, like I do all the time. We're gonna add the stage. Did I actually?
So we're gonna work on this part of it.
This part
it is what it is. It's a process.
Yeah,
it is.
I'm like hitting the add the stage, and it's like, folks, I have to remove the other media.
So, needless to say, is there any fish that you're looking at to breed next?
Yeah, I will tell you that there's a very good chance that I'll be getting some Leopoldi angels rather shortly.
I'm so excited for you to get the Leopoldi angels.
There's also a really good chance that I'm going to be getting another species of Geophagus rather shortly.
Oh my gosh, we can't talk about those yet. They're next to Anthony. I'm so excited, you guys. We're gonna have a fishing tour video and be talking about these soon.
And we have
epic.
And we also have another breeder, which is a lot of these rainbows in the room are coming from.
Here we go. It's spinning, you guys.
Oh, here we are.
Oh my gosh, we're just going here. I have somebody I'm hoping it for. Stacy,
congratulations!
Right on, Stacy.
Hope you enjoy them.
Yeah.
Wow, Stacy, you get to stop by. And
local.
So get a hold of me. I think Stacy's in our club, if I'm correct.
Awesome.
If I'm not, I could just be making.
And I love the dog.
But I think she is a breeder. I think she does some pretty. I could be wrong. Congratulations, Stacy, on
winning 5 gold dust Earth Eaters.
Yeah, here you go. There they are. Here is one of the fish.
Yeah.
We can put a camera on them later. They can go on the website and look at them. It's time to start winding stuff down here, you guys.
Yeah.
Let's go through and just say goodnight to see if anybody. Okay, this is Stacy. Let's talk. Stacy's a breeder from our club. She has nice fish.
Right.
You guys. And do you guys have anything you want to say? Anthony?
Well, I just want to say, thank you, Jody, for putting this on and having the shed, and thank you, Anthony, for coming by and spending time with us. And we enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Everybody, where to find UncleJoe'sFishShed.com. You're going to find everything there. YouTube / Uncle Joe's Fish Shed and YouTube / @Aqualust. If you want to find some really cool videos, and some stuff that we've done. We're working on some new stuff that's going on. Like I said, we're going to do another live or maybe even do a video. We'll see with a rainbow fish breeder, Eddie, which would be a lot of fun. The weather's going to turn up soon. We've got a lot of things. Jody, we're going to do some fish tour stuff. He's sending me some content that
some events coming up.
Yet, but man, I am impressed. I'm a cleanliness and organization snob, and I've seen some of the backsides of these tanks that he sent me, and I'm impressed.
It's unreal.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of stuff coming up, but As always, this channel is driven by you guys. Like,
Thank you.
subscribe, and tell us what you're interested in. If there are questions, something you want us to cover, we're going to dive back into the 60 breeders. We've got some updated information on that. So 26 is looking a lot of fun. We're going to do some more things. And I have a really good feeling that you're going to have some more fish soon. So
you guys, I can't wait to hit. What are the angelfish called again?
The pulled-eye angels, the short-nosed angelfish.
You guys, we're gonna take care of this. I cannot wait to be the first person to ever try my hardest to bring you a $10 angelfish.
Oh wow!
You guys
I mean, that may be our thing. Is just to get some great fish out in the hobby, really affordable and
one $10 angelfish.
I mean, there could be one. It could be one. Hey, that's one more than none.
Anthony, do you have anything else, Anthony?
Yeah, I actually do have one thing I'd like to say, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So you guys hear these two every week that they do this. They come and tell you, join a fish club. And I'm going to echo that. Join a fish club. Join a fish club. Be a part of the fish communities out there. Because there's a lot of people that enter our hobby. They get discouraged by people who yell at them when they need advice. And then they stop and leave. And I think that's a real tragedy. We need to do our best to support each other out there. We need to do our best to support the visions of other people out there. So please do your part. Be that light that we want everybody to be. So,
yeah. And don't feel that like it's you got to be breeding fish or this. No, you really just being in the hobby and participating and finding your own speed and what's right for you. It's like, these guys are breeding fish and I am a plant guy, and I'm taking on plants and I like aquascape design and setup of tanks. And, everybody's going to have their niche that you're going to find a really enjoyable part of the hobby. Yeah. And there is no right and wrong way. There's people out there that are doing, filterless tanks. And then there's people out there doing monies of no object tanks. So it could be any extreme from one to the other. Find what you like.
From those crazy reef guys with those, what is the name of that filter again? Eheim to LRB with nothing at all. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely.
And learn it. And you're not going to be able to ever get all that experience. There's going to be a learning curve, but you get into a fish club and you're going to find friends and people that are doing these things, and you're going to be able to share, and they're going to want to share that knowledge because they want success for you.
Yeah.
And I think that, we all know the internet is a very negative place. It's very hard to ask questions. It's very hard to get real information because there's so much conflicting information. And I think really some great advice I've really heard from people is that you find somebody in the hobby that you relate to and you like their tanks and you like how they deliver information, and then just stick with that person. It's when you try and hodgepodge and grab this and this and this and this and trying to make some utopian, I never change my water, I've overstocked my tank, and it's all cichlids and I have no plants. Like, this is a recipe for disaster. But you're not only going to know that if you've been in the hobby, but you got to find somebody that can guide you through, and so you have maximum enjoyment. Get your flow, and find your peace. And then for me, it's been propagating plants and bringing plants into people's hands at an affordable rate. You're doing pretty much the same thing. I grabbed a bunch of Nubius that I bought. I'm this local joke at the hobby that I haven't let a plant go home.
No.
Right? And but I'll buy a Nubius at $15, and then in a year it's $15 plants.
That's so cool. You do so much.
Beautiful.
And I have boots of Philandra that I've been really holding on to, and that I want to really get into some people's hands. But at the same time, I want to make sure that people understand like what you're buying. Like, it's not cheap, and it's hard because it takes years. It's like when we were talking about the fish. You're going to keep a fish for 7 months. It can't be free, but at the same time, you want to keep it affordable so somebody can have it. Yeah. So boots is another condition where kind of like we have cares for fish, but we have nothing for plants, and we're dealing with a plant that's being eradicated from the earth.
Yeah, that's a real factor.
You know,
That's a real factor too.
You know,
it really is.
So
With the fish aquarium hobby as well.
yeah,
We have to be better as hobbyists too, that we're responsibly collecting things as well.
Yeah.
And responsibly propagating them.
yeah.
Cannot stress that enough.
Yeah, we've had great speakers at our local club that have gone over this, that a part of the industry is supporting the people gathering in the wild. But part of that industry needs to be farm grown plants and fish, because we can't put that hobby burden on just the wild and expect it to sustain and support us and be healthy and easy to get and affordable. When we're flying fish across the world, they come in stressed out, and we just did a video about talking about that, about how stressful just getting fish is, and what
Simplest-
go through to be
The
shipped.
simplest thing can stress them out and cause problems. The simplest missed thing. I mean, things happen all the time. Anthony came here today, and I'm so glad he did, because these geos that I have here for him, like things happen.
Yeah,
I had a bunch of water going today, and I had a small mishap here, and I don't know what happened, but when Anthony got here, the fish were looking pretty. They were stressed out. We did a water change and stuff like that. So just always being aware.
And I think that a lot of it is that what we've always preached is this stability. Just locally, we're having a lot of instability in our weather, which is then affected in your fish room. And I think that's a whole other discussion that we're going to have one day, is just the fish room care and some basics of educating people about keeping care in your fish room, and maybe not spraying aerosol.
Natural disasters.
Right.
Disasters. Being prepared for a natural disaster. So
This was a pretty good
lot of
time,
fun.
and I learned a lot of good stuff today. One other thing I learned today, that the Alto Sino are such good parents, and strive to not want their babies to get eaten, that she just won't let them out and they'll die.
Yep.
I learned that.
Yep.
I like learning new stuff each and every day.
I learned that you cannot trust Jody with anything.
Yeah, you guys. I think these two wrapped it
Look
up.
at this nice big plant right there. Look at that plant. I think it was 6 foot tall originally.
It was. So it was 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
You guys, these guys wrapped it up already for us. You guys, get out. If you're not in a fish club, but most of you guys in here right now, I'm sure are. You have them close by. They're kind of far away. I saw some of that. Distance isn't an excuse. Get out there. Make sure you do something to better yourself, and do that tomorrow by doing something better for the environment. Get outside, even if it's something small in your
garbage
parking lot,
that you see.
That will affect you, the fish, at some point.
Yep.
Go out and visit a pet store, you guys. Sign up for a fish club and do some good things. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a great night,
Thanks for coming.
everybody.
All right.
Bye.